Which is more eco-friendly, electric cars or hydrogen cars? Methane reforming is still the way that 95% of hydrogen is made in the US today. Because of the carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide that are made in this process, hydrogen-powered cars can no longer be used as a way to fight climate change. Also, there's not much reason to use natural gas, which is a fossil fuel that could leak out during the extraction and transportation via pipeline species. Even if the process of cracking methane is made better, which isn't happening, it's not likely to be a long-term solution. But as technology improves, the process of getting hydrogen from water electrolysis might be able to be made better and used in more ways as the process gets more efficient. Because making hydrogen and then using it to power cars uses energy twice, but electric cars can use energy from the grid right away. This is a strong argument in favor of electric cars. All of this is because turning electricity into hydrogen and back into electricity might waste up to 45% of the energy. This is true even if the hydrogen is compressed into a liquid and stored. But while scientists are working on new ways to make hydrogen, like the proton exchange membrane, which could be as efficient as 86%, we need to wait and see what happens. Using the extra energy to make hydrogen and make a hybrid version of hydrogen lithium-ion cars could also be a good idea, once more studies show whether this extra energy is better used in dams without taking into account their other effect, or to make hydrogen. As of now, electric cars are easier to get, both in terms of types of cars and places to charge them. They use more efficient processes than hydrogen-powered cars, and if their lithium batteries are used for different purposes, they are likely to be a more sustainable solution, at least for the next few years. Hydrogen cars vs electric cars. Driving range. The hydrogen-powered Hyundai Nexo can go about 330 miles or 550 km, which is about the same as the best electric car of its kind, the Tesla Model S. Still, it's hard to get a good idea of how far these cars can go. It depends on a number of factors, like how many people are in the car, if the air conditioning is on or off, if the car is on a highway or stuck in traffic in the city center, and what kind of car it is. Because each person's mix of all these factors is different, they have had different experiences. But because hydrogen cars store their energy in a more compact way, they can usually go farther. Automotive Technology says that hydrogen-powered cars can go up to 300 miles on a single charge. Most fully electric cars can go between 100 and 200 miles on a single charge. Hydrogen cars vs electric cars. Available power or refueling stations. Every day, there are more and more charging stations for electric vehicles, and by December 2018, there were 20,000 of them in the United States. The U.S. Department of Energy says that there are less than 45 hydrogen filling stations in the U.S., and most of them are in the California area. This is a big number compared to that. In fact, hydrogen cars are still years behind electric cars in terms of infrastructure, supply, and technology. Hydrogen cars vs electric cars. Powering refueling time. The time it takes to pump hydrogen into the tank, 5 to 10 minutes. Just like any gas car, is much more interesting than the time it takes for electric cars. Fast chargers from Tesla 120 kilowatts can give batteries 80% of their power in half an hour, but it can take the BMW i or Nissan Leaf around 4 or 8 hours to get fully charged. The real problem: getting hydrogen. Hydrogen is the most common element in the universe, but the blue planet doesn't have any pure hydrogen. This means that if we want to use it as fuel for our cars, we need to make it from other things, like water, natural gas, or other fossil fuels, or biomass. And for this to happen, energy has to be used, which has both environmental and economic costs. On the one hand, we can cleanly get hydrogen by turning the electrolysis of water around. The problem is that separating water molecules to get the hydrogen takes a lot of energy, which makes the process very expensive. But if this energy comes from renewable sources like the sun or the wind, the net energy cycle can have a very low amount of carbon, and the process becomes better for the environment. Another problem is that the process is only 75% efficient, which means that 25% of the electricity is lost. Because of this, most hydrogen fuel is now made by reforming natural gas, which is less expensive than electrolysis. The bad thing is that the process makes harmful byproducts like carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide, which contribute to global warming. If you enjoyed today's video, then feel free to smash the like button and subscribe to our channel.